Welcome to the Film Festival Cottbus 2020, and hello to Ivan-Goran Vitez, the director of Extracurricular. Thank you very much for your time and your wonderful film.
Oh, thank you very much for your compliments and for you to hosting me here.
What inspired you to make this movie? Was it based on real events, or came it out of your mind, everything?
Well, it wasn't based on the real events, but as a matter of fact, the day after our premiere in Croatia, in our neighbor country of Serbia, something similar happened. As a matter of fact, I tried to make the movie before something like this happens, like some kind of the warning to potential intruder in the school. What kind of situation can you know, I don't know how to say.
Like you wanted to prevent him from going to. You wanted to tell him like if he does it, that will happen.
But that's one of the possibilities. He can control the whole situation. You know, if he starts some action that is not thought through to the end, some kind of situation may progress from that, and he can't control that anymore. And something that he doesn't want to happen may happen right after that. The weapons are not the answer, you know.
Yeah. And how did you write your script? There are countless of parallel storylines. I imagine it must have been so difficult to keep track of everything.
I have a mind that thinks that way. You know, when I get the idea, I tend to think about it for a few months before I start to write, and then I write some story outline, and then when it's over, I start to write dialogues. So the main time took to just to think about it. When I started to write, it was over for 3 or 4 weeks, but I thought about it for at least half a year or even a year before I started to write. And I like to see this kind of movie with lots of happenings, with lots of storylines that interconnect. So I like to make the movies that I would like to see. You know?
Yeah. And did you have the fear at some point that maybe audience are going to get lost by all these things happening parallel?
I try to make it as as understandable as I could. You know, I can't cope with the audience with the difficulty in tracking so many storylines, but I believe it's possible. I believe it's possible, and I think the reaction of the audience that saw the film until now gives me right to believe it.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for German audience, there are a lot of references in your film that are maybe not so clear. You know, that there may be some ethical conflicts, and there are, of course, all the media and political corruptions behind it. Could you give us a few insights on how this is reflecting the reality of everyday life in Croatia today?
Yes, but we have a war in my country some 30 years ago, and the echoes of that war is still present today. So when the crew of the false cops entered the school, they're the crew who did some dirty works during the war, you know, and I wanted to. I think everybody in Croatia understands it, and when the main conflict at the end happens between the janitor and that crew, it's understandable that janitor was part of that crew also, you know. But that was two currents of that crew. That was two types of the ex-warriors, you know. The janitor is the ex-warrior who agreed to close his eyes in front of the monstrosities of the war, and the other part of the crew enjoyed the same monstrosities with their eyes wide open. And when the conflict happens in the end between them, one side prevails, you know. but but all the other references, I think they're pretty understandable for every denizen of the Western civilizations. You know, all the corruption, all the false news, you know, all the anger, all the rage of the citizens. I think we can all experience it that in today's world.
At the same time, I had the feeling that there's a good humor involved, you know, that it's very subtle but very good humor, you know. That so is that solution here? We should keep laughing at least.
I think we should keep laughing at the people who think they are so strong and they are so important as the mayor of the film. You know, I purposefully make the mayor and the crew around him some kind of the clowns. They think they are the great evil masterminds, but they're not evil masterminds. One of them is drunk, the other is a poltron. The logic of the mayor is unsound logic. The things he thinks will happen, they could happen, but they're not logical things to happen. His moral ambivalence makes him a monster, you know. But the monster, I think we should laugh at and not be scared of him, because I think the in real life who acts like this think that hurts them more than to be scared of them, you know. I think we can hurt him by laughing at them. Yeah.
Your title also suggests that you wanted to have you wanted the audience to have like an extra lesson on a variety of these issues, right?
Yeah.
So what were the reactions in Croatia? Did you release it already? And if yes,
we released it a year ago, but Croatian audience is funny. They don't like to even to go to see the Croatian film in the cinema. So we didn't have lots of the audience in the distribution, but the people who saw it was very excited about it. They really loved it. But you know, when Extracurricular was playing in the Croatian cinemas, some American film, I don't know if you heard about it, Jaxi, about the mobile phone who falls in love with his owner, was playing, and the Jaxi was 12 times more watched than Extracurricular. It doesn't make any sense to me, but it's how things are. Americans movies 8 are cinematography. But you know, it's I'm waiting for it to start playing on the TV. When the Croatian movie plays on the TV, then Croatian audience finally has a chance to see it. But until then, maybe we'll win an Oscar and, and we'll make them see it, you know.
Yeah, that's also your film has been selected as the official entry into the Oscars for Croatia. So first of all, congratulations. And second, how do you feel about this, considering you paint quite a rough picture of your country?
I mean, that's why the films are here. I mean, I'm the proponent of the idea of the film as being the way of communication between the author and the audience. And for that communication even to be possible, you know, you have to address the audience in the language they're willing to hear. So that's the main reason I prefer using a genre, you know, as a way to communicate with the audience. And then by bending its established rules for a bit, try to transmit some of the ideas and observations I believe to be important to the unsuspecting audience. So I mean, I think the principle is to lure the audience in the cinema by giving them something they want, and that is to be entertained, but then to give them so much more, to give them important social commentary, you know. So that's what I try to do, and I think we did it.
Yeah, it was really great. And when you think back at the time of shooting now, what do you remember? Like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
You know what the first thing is? The first thing is one of the greatest Croatian actors, Ivo Gregurević, who was supposed to play the janitor, and we shot the half of his scenes, died in the middle of the shooting. So we had to replace him with the other Croatian actors, Ratko Burić, Croatian actor who lives in Denmark and works in Denmark. and that is the first thing that comes to mind. So I decided to put a dedication to Ivo Grigorjević on the end of the film, after the rolling credits. So that's the great tragedy that struck us in the middle of the shooting. But apart from that, shooting went as anyone could wish for shooting to go. We shot it in 35 days. It would be less if Ivo hadn't left us, but everything went as planned apart from that tragedy.
Yeah, that's a tough tragedy there.
Yeah.
And so you
especially because I wrote that part for Ivo, because I've been working with him in the past, and I wrote part of the janitor for him. And when that happened, we had to move quickly. We have to make some sudden decisions because we have 3 weeks in school. When there were school holidays, to shoot everything we have to shoot in school, and Ivo died in the middle of that. So it was it was pretty, stressful.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And so you had to reshoot a lot of scenes that you already shot with him. You were in the middle with him, or?
Yes. Half of scenes we already shot with him. We have to reshoot with the other actor.
Wow.
Who turned out wonderful, but we have been lucky because we find the replacement who could jump in and be so good in that part.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great job. Yeah. And how do you spend your times at the moment? Do you have a lockdown in Croatia, or is everything going normal?
Well, we have some kind of the silent lockdown. It's not really a lockdown. Even some film productions are currently being shot. 2 of them. I even had a theater play premiere last week. So everybody is working, not in the amount that we would be working if there wasn't a silent lockdown, but we try to cope with the situation.
So you are working on theater productions now, or are you also preparing the next film?
You know what? I'm not still preparing the next film. I have some ideas, but it's tough to find the producer in Croatia who will understand the things you want to do and stay with the film till the end. We have a few of the producers in Croatia who have the moment they finish one film, they start to shoot the other. They don't care about the promotion of the short film at all. And I would like to have the producer that would care for the film till the end. And I'm now currently actively looking for the producer.
Well, then I hope that the Oscar race will be in your favor, and that maybe a producer will find you. And I hope to see a film from you very soon. And thank you very much for this beautiful Q&A.
I even thought to make the audition for the producers. I don't know if anybody has done that, something like that in the past, but maybe that's the way to find the right producer.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be great.
Okay.
All right. I thank you very much.
Thank you.